if you're talented and you're disciplined and you're trying to be the best person you can be in the industry, you're going to break at some point.
They've killed a lot of talent.
They have.
Shaba, here's a young man crying to come back. Here's a young man crying, begging to come back to the system.
Also, again, it's a call to politicians as well. That let's allow talent to flourish in our province, man.
Many people, many programs managers have used that
Yeah.
to get into people's pens.
We had a great relationship. I believe that there's an opportunity for me to come back there. You know, I would love to come back. I miss radio. And I think we need to go back and...
And I'm sorry.
For what? Not everybody's going to turn out to be a lawyer, a doctor, or these commercial streams. Some kids were born to entertain. What are we doing about those kids? What are we doing about that? My life and my destiny is on God's hands. And if anyone thinks that they can close a door and they can log, if God is destined that I reach greater heights, it will happen.
Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.
Welcome to another episode of Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino. This is DJ Cappuccino, son of Gezani. Today I'm introducing someone who's been introducing me, who has introduced me many times. The undisputed himself, Gab Mapiano, Gab Mapiano, a multifaceted talented who has made waves in numerous fields. As a pianist, a worshipper, he brings that soul and passion to every performance. His voice resonates through the airwaves as a renowned radio presenter, captivating audiences with his engaging presence. Gab is a master event stage production organizer, ensuring every detail is perfect. As a project manager and a consultant, his expertise drives success in every endeavor. In his role as an A&R for Shine Bright, he scouts and nurtures music talents, shaping the future of the industry. An award-winning national MC, hype man, Gab knows how to energize the crowd. And as a motivational speaker, he inspires and uplifts with his powerful messages. Gab Mapiano is truly a force to be reckoned with in the industry. My brother, welcome to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.
Man, thank you very much. And what an intro, man. That was a beautiful intro.
I know I left a lot of things. And I hope you're not offended, because like you're doing a lot of things.
No, I can't be. I mean, I think it's one of the first times, if not the first time, I actually have such an intro, man. It actually feels good, eh? This is how you guys feel when we put you guys on.
Gab, man,
Yes,
where did this thing start, man? Where did this
man.
thing start?
Look, you know, I think, again, I really appreciate being on this platform. I appreciate being on your channel, and you're doing amazing things, man. I've always been watching, and I always ask myself, when will my turn come, you know? And just being here is really, really...
You've been busy, man. We're lucky to have you. You know, we've been looking for you since we started.
Yeah, I really appreciate, having the opportunity to be here. Yeah, look, this is where it started. It's been a journey, Cappuccino. It's been a journey, but this is where it started, man. Remember, I'm a PK. I need to make that clear for people that are not aware. A lot of people know about this, but I'm a PK and grew up in a very spiritual and a Christian home. My dad was, if not, but one of the few people to introduce the charismatic movement in Limpopo back in the day when it was not fashionable. So growing up in a household like that meant that we're exposed to different things. I mean, charismatic movements, elements of which they've got music, you know, within their structures. They've got, a lot of different things that are running through those segments. So I was exposed to music at a very young age. I remember my second birthday gift was a set of drums. My little brother Michael as well, who's also done a lot in the industry.
Oh, Gabriel and Michael.
Yeah.
Those are angels.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's also, I remember his second birthday, he got a birthday cake as a guitar, you know? So the music thing started from a very, very early age, man. And we grew up in that system. We grew up learning how to play instruments. We learned how to, we're exposed to different types of music genres, gospel, different genres, different artists, international artists at a very, very young age. So that's when this whole thing started for me, and I'm referencing this in terms of the arts and the music, in my career. So that's where it started from, Cappuccino. Yeah.
But can you share, because I can imagine that you spend a bit of time in church, especially playing the piano.
Yeah.
I've seen you lead people to the Lord, and with the same piano, I've seen you make people dance.
Definitely.
And but can you share a memorable experience, ne?
Yeah.
From your time as a worshipper, or in church playing the piano, like where you could actually see the effect of what you're doing.
Look, I still do that. I've never stopped being a worshiper, man. It's a calling. I always tell people that people need to understand that what you do is not who you are. I'll forever be a devoted Christian. I'll forever be a worshiper. But I will play and make people dance because it's what I do. I get paid for that.
You're one of the few guys when I shared the one that I shared a meal with, and go bona rapela before.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Look,
Praying for the trip before we go.
Definitely.
I've seen you do that.
I think again it attributes to the upbringing, man. I had a conversation before we started with Dr. Mawota here that it's funny how we still remain religious despite whatever subscription we subscribe to. That when you have that conscious inside of you, it will always help you maintain basic things. I mean, praying for a trip, Cappuccino, is just you asking the Lord to protect you along the way, as you would when you leave your house, as you would when you'd have a meal. But again, to answer your question, I think my upbringing still plays a very crucial role in the person I am, I still pray before I go on stage, whether it's a commercial stage, whether it's a gospel stage, whether it's a kiddies party that I'm invited to. I'm just so used to understanding and knowing that everything I do, all the glory goes to God. That's never changed, It's something I would do for my own private life. And now that on a public platform, we get to talk about it. But people need to understand the fact that what you do is not who you are. And what I've been doing is not necessarily who I am, Because who I am is church, Is I'm the church boy, and I enjoy being in church, I enjoy being in the presence of the Lord, because that's where I find fulfillment. You know what I mean? It doesn't pay me. I don't get paid to be in the presence of the Lord. It's a choice that I make deliberately to be there because I get fulfilled internally. And being at the gig, I go there because I get paid for it. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. It's effortless. You know what I mean? Playing the piano with you, DJ Cappuccino, on stage is something that I enjoy doing. It's a hobby. Going on stage and MCing is something that I love doing, and it's effortless, right? And for the fact that I can get compensated for it, I'll forever do that, So there's a lot of people need to understand these two things. It's two separate worlds. It requires you to be very, 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 man, it needs you to be strong, man, mentally, because you're going to have people always talking. People don't want to talk. People will always judge. They'll always be... they'll always find...
There's somewhere there.
Is it there? Yeah, people always find something to talk. I think it's in the bag, though.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
Sorry.
No stress. People will always find... People are judgmental, Cappuccino. Someone once said that whether you do right or whether you do wrong, people are going to talk. Whether you buy an expensive car, people are going to say you're lazy because you can't afford an expensive one. Or they'll say, if you buy an expensive car, they'll say that you're proud. Or right? You buy a smaller car, they're saying, yeah, you're lazy, you're not working hard enough. So I've got to realize that people will always talk, right? But I've learned to do what fulfills me. And what fulfills me is not what I need to prove or tell the whole world. What fulfills me is where I find peace and solace. And trust me, that's always been for me in the house of the Lord. It will never change. And that's what it is, man. And people need to understand that. I still feel like for me to be here today, if it wasn't because of that background, Chin, I don't think I'd be sitting here with you, talking to you right now.
I think I agree with you with this thing. Actually, what you do is not who you are. I always, when people ask me, are you a DJ? I always tell them, no, I DJ.
Yeah.
I think there's...
Yeah.
that there's a lot of things that we do that you can't actually confine us to one thing, but we do it because we have to do it.
True.
Yeah. And the radio thing, I know you're still in the broadcasting space.
Yeah.
How did it start,
Radio,
the
man.
journey?
As you know, Cappuccino, man. Unlimited DJ productions. Yeah. Sakavi, you know. You guys literally opened up the commercial industry for me. You know.
How?
I mean, you found me in church, didn't you? You did, right? Now you guys know. This is where it started. You know?
What
It
happened?
started here. It started right here.
What happened?
Years ago. So, I'm answering the radio question, the broadcasting question, but I need to give our listeners
Or
viewers,
just the whole entertainment thing?
yeah, man, just to give them a nice idea, you know, for where it came from. So, I remember in the university, I used to be asked by the student Christian organization, the SUO, right, to come and help play the keyboard for them, especially when they had worship nights, when they had fundraising.
To lead people to the Lord.
To come and play. I was really, as I said, I learned how to play the keys from a young age. You can imagine by your grade 11, 10 there, you can imagine how I was playing, you know. I think I was relatively okay. So whenever the SUO had special events, they would invite me to come and play for them, right? Now that's where I bumped into some friends, understand? That were musicians, that were singers, you know. And good thing was that not all of them were from our country. That's when I got exposed also to people from different countries, right? At that time when it wasn't really fashionable, you know, to associate with other people from other countries. But then music brought us together. Not just music, the gospel music and the commercial music. At the same time, I had an encounter with so many people at the same time.
Music is music.
It's music. It's an international language. So whilst I'd go to the SEO, go home, then I bumped into people like you, right? And you already, by then, you already knew me from some time. I think you also knew my dad or something like that.
Yeah, because I think by that time I signed artists from TEF. I signed Tererai,
yes.
who was from Zimbabwe.
You signed...
And Mesh. And
And what is the room number again? 10?
which room?
The name of the record label. Nelia Mesner?
No, Mesh had this thing, but like
Okay.
I had, it was Native Young Productions.
Yeah.
Native Young Productions, yeah.
So, Cappuccino needed a pianist. And I was there. He identified me, you know, told me about how I'm going to become this great artist if I, you know, stuck around them. And trust me, I really think...
I don't remember that conversation.
I remember
though.
it so well. Like,
I don't remember that conversation.
Right? Then we're going to Messina. Cappuccino had a gig in Messina. So I didn't have a keyboard at the time, right? So the only way we could get a keyboard was at the church. And at the time, the church did not allow me to participate in anything commercial because I think by then there was still a lot of learning to do. You know, that I'm blessed that the church has learned today. That when someone has a talent, that talent is not for them. It's for God to use it to bless other people. And not just Christians. Everyone. And we had to somehow get the keyboard. You know? And
So you always tell me I made you steal a
we
keyboard.
didn't steal it. We just borrowed it for some time, you know?
And I don't remember that. I think maybe I had good managers who negotiated with you.
No, there was no managers. I was negotiating with Cappuccino himself. But to cut the long story short, there we were. One of my first, trips to Messina. And I'm young there. You can imagine there. We do the show that's perfect. Tara was an amazing vocalist. Then we come back on our way back. Obviously, I had to take a risk to take the keyboard. So in my head, I'm like, for as long as I'll get an incentive, timer. At least get something. So here's something so that it can also, encourage him. Or next time I want the keyboard, ask him a problem. So what we had agreed on, Cappuccino, unfortunately, is not what I got. You know what I mean? But it built the person I am today. And again, it's just a background, check to where the broadcasting came from. So now, Cappuccino, from your,
Cap, what was our agreement?
that you're going to pay me 1.5 in 2000 and something, and you gave me 750, I won't forget. Yeah, but that was a lot of money back then. It was a lot of cash. Bro, like, you actually, you're a good guy, bro. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I don't want to get lost in conversation, right? Because I still have to answer your question. Cappuccino, do you know that there's still people who play for 750 right now in 2024? In proper outlets, in 750, my brother.
I think you've done many gigs.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that I appreciate, again,
No. It's not,
your hard back then for still
it's
seeing-
not what you tell me when we're off camera. You say I exploited you.
No, but then, I'm joking with you. I'm just, but now because we're on record, right? I really wanna, guys. I don't know how this interview is gonna go about, but I'm.
Can you talk to me? Just talk to DJ Cappuccino.
Can I talk to you?
Leave the camera.
No, but don't talk to them as well. They need. I feel like your listeners and your viewers need to know much.
Okay, good.
You know, because we sit here. When he used to ask you questions yesterday, you couldn't answer. You don't want to do that with me.
Which questions?
No, he asked you a lot of stuff here on the show that I saw. You couldn't answer him. Asking you about you.
I'll answer questions at his platform.
Fair enough.
Cap, I'll come to your platform. You'll ask me what you want to ask me.
We agreed you want to come. But I want your viewers to know you more. Right?
It's not about me today.
Well, me being here is about you. So now, Chino, man, it was you that started this whole thing, you know, commercially for me. Sakavi, Victor. Man, the man also played a very crucial part in my career. To this day, I thank that man, you know, for risking with me, you know. You saw the talent back then. I mean, you've learned how to identify talent. The Limo Awards are no fluke. We need to give credit where it's due, you know. I took time thinking about this podcast, what am I going to say? But I was like, let me take this platform to be honest and just people to learn exactly where certain individuals come from. How did certain individuals get to where they are? Or how do they start? So I'm just saying, long and short of it. So, with all of the opportunities that I got that I'd like to talk about that built up to broadcasting was me being given an opportunity to MC at the University of Limpopo. It started off by, you know what happened? It was very weird because there was a Mr. and Miss Turf after party where there were Unlimited DJs production had booked DJs, official MCs from the spec wherever it came from, right? And I was just there as a runner because Bompa was always, whenever they had events, would go and run for cabling, always help to connect, just for some quick cash, you know. We're passionate about the industry back then. Then the MC was late. Then Sakavi's like, hey, my man, can you do something? I'm like, of course I can. Then I went on stage, Cappuccino, and that feeling changed my whole life, brother. The adrenaline. Then, fast forward, I got an opportunity to be on Radio Turf. My first radio gig was at Radio Turf, and my first show was the afternoon drive. It was the drive show. No radio experience, no media.
You started with Drive.
I went in 3 to 6, my first radio gig. Went well, and then ended up becoming the station compiler for Radio Turf, and then was employed by the University of Limpopo, right? Then we moved on. Did Capricorn FM.
It looks like, I think there's something that is underplayed here. Radio TEF looks like has produced a lot of radio presenters that are in the commercial space.
Oh man, it has.
And I think a lot is not said about that. Because when you say it now, I'm thinking, how many people do I know who are still working in radio now, who are from there? And maybe it's something that needs to be documented thoroughly.
True.
And big up to Radio TEF.
Yeah, they were recently celebrating, I think it was 3 decades of their existence, if I'm not mistaken, and I was privileged to be part of that event. We're doing a lot with them as well in terms of donations and sponsorships because they gave us a chance, you know. And we are who we are because of Radio Turf, no lies. You look around, as you say, there's a lot of people that are affecting the broadcasting community that hail from, and that were, you know, started the
Your second radio gig?
Second radio gig, I left, and I think I went to commuter radio. You know these radio stations that broadcast for taxi ranks?
At taxi ranks.
Not at taxi ranks, but I was broadcasting in Sunning Hill for taxi ranks.
Okay.
Of commuter trains and all of that. It was crazy because at the time I was staying in Pretoria North, and I'd have to travel to Sunning Hill every morning, and I was always late because there was no way I would make it to Sunning Hill on time, you know. But because of the passion I had, I just kept trying, to a point where it was not possible anymore to be on the show because of those kind of logistics, you know. Yeah, but it was an opportunity for me to grow, and I learned so much. It also shaped the hustle in me, you know, the never giving up spirit in me. That look, if you want something, you must go after it. And it's those experiences that have shaped out the Gab Mapiano that you see today.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir. Yeah, then I moved on, and then I did a few stints, man. But the ones I want to talk about that really, really meant something, you know, that were contractual. Moved on to Capricorn FM, right?
That's a commercial radio station.
That's
I think
commercial.
that's your biggest radio gig so far. Yeah.
Did Capricorn, was beautiful, man. Learned a lot, beautiful family. Man, everything was incredible there. Learned so much there as well. And then, I started off with a graveyard slot. And then I ended up getting, what time was that thing we did, man? What time was that show? Friday, I think it was. Yeah, and then I think I did it 6 to 9. Yeah, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, I think it was. Yeah, so it was beautiful times for me. Then my contract was not renewed, and then I had to move on.
I always call it being fired.
Yeah, well, however you look at it, I feel like Cappuccino, being fired is you leaving before your time, you know? There you served your time, right? I mean, radio contracts are 12 months, right? If you leave anywhere before those 12 months, you are fired. But if you finish off the time that you're there, they just maybe didn't have plans for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's some of the greatest soccer players who were never included or re-included in the next squad for the following season that went on to do amazing things, you know?
What's your feeling about this 12-month contract that the radio presenters? How fair do you think these things are?
I don't think there's... Look, I don't want to be... I'm not a policy maker. But I think it's okay. I'll tell you why. It keeps presenters on their feet, you know? I think it eliminates the idea of you just being relaxed, knowing that this is my show. I think it gives you that opportunity to be reinvent yourself, you know? Pela talking can bore people. You can bore people easily, right? I think it gives an opportunity to anyone who's coming through the ranks that has more hunger, you know? Because if you get comfortable, then the hunger is no longer there, right? You start having an employee mentality, like a present. But when you know that you have limited time, you always make sure that your shows are on par, you're creative, and you're just making sure that you just maintain your listenership or even grow your listenership from what you have, you know?
Don't you think they make presenters vulnerable to abuse?
Well, I think the window is there, but if you're doing your work and you bring in the numbers, I don't see why that exploits you in any way. Because I think there is no radio station that would want to lose numbers, unless it's a personal vendetta, of which I've seen a lot happening, you know? In my instance, I don't think it was anything personal. I was just told that they couldn't afford me, and because I had another presenter on board. I had asked them to bring another presenter.
No, but you know, I'm glad that many radio presenters are coming out about what I'm trying to talk about, and especially the female presenters.
Okay.
Something similar to couch casting.
Okay.
You know, when it happens, you know that someone has the power to actually sign that thing.
Yeah.
And many people, many programs managers have used that to get into people's pens.
That's true.
You understand? That's why I'm talking about that abuse, that, you know, you leaving poor black kids or poor kids, whether it's black or white, with that thing that if I don't do this, I'm not going to get my job. And these people, they do it in a very nice way, in a very subtle way. For instance, I know of a few that were told, you need to meet me at a hotel so that we can discuss your contract.
Yes, that's wild, man.
And you'll choose the hotel. It should be a hotel of your choice, and you need to book.
It's wild. You know, Cappuccino, all these stories, these are sad stories, and I think they happen all across different industries, you know? And I'd want to speak for myself, you know? It's sad it happens, and it shouldn't happen, right? But speaking for myself, with my experiences, right?
Do I intimidate you? I think you don't want to look at me in the eye.
I'm trying to see if I look at the camera.
Leave the camera alone. I'm here to talk to you. Can we have a conversation?
Let's talk. I'm talking to you.
Stop being camera conscious.
No, I'm trying to look at the viewers.
No. Leave the viewers, man.
I'm trying to interact with all of you here.
I'm here to have a conversation with you, Gab.
I'm talking to you.
And an honest conversation with you.
We're having an honest conversation. Hence, I'm saying, with my experiences, Chino, ne, I'll speak for me. Especially about broadcasting and why it left. I mean, I think with a lot of presenters, it's always about how did you leave, why did you leave, the controversy about leaving. I'll tell you today.
No, you were not disciplined.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing that from you. I'm telling you that with Capricorn FM,
No, I heard you were not disciplined.
And who told you that?
People talk.
People always talk. I told you that. You talking now, you know? And not everything that
But
people
like
say.
now,
Not everything that people say is true.
mature as you are,
Yeah.
do you think you would have handled things differently?
Definitely. And
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you something. Handle things differently is relative, Chino, right? I'm explaining this to you again. I worked my whole contract out, right? When we're renegotiating for my...
Or you negotiated?
Yeah, when we're renegotiating
Okay.
for my next contract,
Yeah.
or the following contract, or the next 12 months, that's when I was told that, unfortunately, it won't happen, right?
After the negotiations?
Before we negotiated, on the day of the negotiations, right?
So there was no plan to negotiate with you?
Nah, there wasn't a plan because they already knew that I wouldn't be part of the plan. I didn't know that.
You,
right?
you know that there are many people who look up to you.
Yeah.
And I think you're an amazing guy, man.
Yeah.
Because I've seen how you work, your work ethic, and I also know your heart.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're honest about other things that were wrong, that you did, many people can learn from them.
I'm not denying that. You talk. I think one thing that I want to tell you that I think a lot of people in the industry must learn is to take accountability.
Yes.
For some of their actions.
And I want you to take it.
No,
about
listen.
your conduct.
I've always taken accountability for my actions, Cappuccino. I have. I'm going to give you a few examples, right? And it's real talk. As I said, with Capricorn, I appreciate everything Capricorn FM did for me. And it was a great experience, you know? And like any other organization, they've got plans. And unfortunately, I was not in those plans. And we move on, right? Then we moved on. A couple of years later, I found myself where? At Energy FM. Yeah? Right behind. And there's a lot of energy in this.
Same guys who employed you there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And they left there as well, you know? For whatever reason. So clearly all of us were moving around. You know what I mean? So it doesn't justify why one person...
Exodus, movement of the people.
Yeah, man, and it's part of the industry, Cappuccino. It's growth. And energy came with a lot of energy, you know what I mean? And then we were energetic and, you know...
They still energized. They still have the right energy.
Pastor the city, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And Shaba again taught us radio, man. The man is... Shaba is a gem, you know?
I know.
And I always appreciate that, man. And... yeah, I mean, you might ask me what happened with the energy. Is that what you want to ask me?
No. You want to talk about it?
I don't mind. I came to talk about anything.
Talk.
Yeah, so the Energy FM contract also... well, we still with Energy FM, yeah? Mm-hmm. I think both parties, I and Energy FM, had to settle for what would work best for the both of us. And we made an agreement that maybe I should... go a different avenue. I'm still good family with them, much love with them. I miss Energy FM. And if right now Shaba calls me and says, yo, Gab, can you come do a link for me? I'll do it right now. I'll do it.
If he says come and do a show?
I'll go do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I would not even think twice about it.
Shaba, here's a young man crying to come back. Here's a young man crying, begging to come back to the system. If there's space, please give him. I think he's now matured. All those ill-disciplined actions.
Chino,
I'm talking to Shaba here.
No, come on. Let me talk to you before you talk to Shaba. You see, here's the thing about energy. No, this has nothing to do with ill discipline or whatever. I think you need to rephrase your words, right? Because not every radio personality that has left radio was because of ill discipline. Chino, right? My. If you walk into Meropa, right, casino, and you walk into the kitchen there, you know, where they advertise with different faces of the brand, I think I'm still there, right?
At Marimba
Yeah,
restaurant.
If I'm not mistaken, and I think it's also another gesture of anybody who leaves your organization under those circumstances of ill discipline and not what you don't want them as part of your organization in any way. I'm just saying, brother, you know. If your face is still there, then maybe they got plans for you for somewhere.
Okay, like
Right,
I was saying,
and sorry, and just to so when you saying this, right, you also need to say it right.
Like I was saying,
there's no
Shaba.
issue of ill discipline. If this guy,
Can I talk to Shaba?
All you need to say, I'll talk to Shaba. Shaba, what's up? And Mr. Malay, look, it's been a great time with you and energy. And if you
please give me a chance again. Say it. Say it.
can I say what I want to say?
You don't want a chance again.
No, can you hear me out? Can I just talk, man?
Okay.
Aren't I here for just talking? So, Mr. Malaya, we had a great relationship. I believe that there's an opportunity for me to come back there. You know, I would love to come back. I miss radio. And I think we need to go back and...
And I'm sorry.
for what? For what? What am I sorry
No, I
for?
thought maybe I'm sorry is also needed.
You see, the thing about me and Energy FM, we all know what happened there, you know? And it was done in good spirit, and everything was resolved with good spirits. But it's not a situation where
Nothing you're sorry about.
I haven't wronged them.
There's nothing you're sorry about.
No, it's not about not being sorry about Cappuccino, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, I've never wronged them.
You
And
just
equally,
just gave me a good answer.
yeah, you know, and they equally feel that they also did their part, I did my part, but there's no fights, we're not at war. I miss radio, I think they miss me too. I might be standing
Okay, talk to Mr. Malay.
I already spoke to him. Sir, I'll give you a call after the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I finish talking to Shab?
Nah, I think we're done about the Shaba situation. We can move on. Let's just talk. What's next? What's this? Because you see, Chino, I think you also need to protect the interest of talent. Chino.
Yeah. You know what my... What,
And let me tell you why I'm saying this.
Okay,
I've looked at previous interviews that you had here. And a lot of guys now, recent interviews that I saw, you've channeled guys to put themselves,
which interviews?
they threw themselves, I don't know.
which interview
No,
did
the
you watch?
interview with Quenisto.
You just watched one interview.
I've watched a lot of interviews.
Because
my
the
brother.
interview was like a day before we interview you. That's the reason
You and I spoke and said,
Were you listening to my interview with Professor Sebola?
I listened to an interview with Dr. Mabota. I listened to an interview with,
Did he throw himself somewhere?
but you didn't ask him, did you ask him to apologize?
For he never done anything wrong.
Was he ever dismissed?
He
from
was
any-
never ill-disciplined.
Was he ever dismissed from any organization?
He was never
Was he
ill-disciplined.
ever dismissed?
Never.
He was never dismissed.
Never.
Haven't you heard anyone talk bad about him or negative about him?
No.
You see, but now you're not being honest. I can tell you now.
What did he do?
You see, a man like Dr. Mabota.
Because I think we need to bring him after this. It's his interview.
he's here. He's here.
You must tell me.
He's here. Ask him. You can respond from there. These mics are what are these mics? Road. They can hear from there. He's here. But here's my point. My point is that
Gab, I love you so much.
I love you too, good sir. Here's my point. My point is, let's remove this thing, man, that artists and talent are ill-disciplined. You know? Because it's not always the story, right? Look, Chino, I feel like any family, right? If you have a child that's an infant, that child is bound to make mistakes. Right? But because it's your child,
We
you
you know what we
Yeah.
agree about with
Yeah.
you? Gab, you have transformed, man. Remember, an energetic person like you, smart, who has ideas, can easily make mistakes, but you have matured.
I've made mistakes.
What I see in you now, that's what I was trying to say. That I think you are transformed. I think you are ready now for anything. But I'm glad you have also a platform because you are talking to a lot of people. There are a lot of people who listen to you. I'm also one of those that tune in because I like how you tackle current affairs, things that affect the entertainment, our youth, and all that. And you can see this is from a space of a guy who has grown. You are no longer that guy Nasa Tlefetz when we went to Musina, you know. You transformed. And my point is that I feel and I wish people can see that. And for instance, again, I wish people can see that it's an honor to have you in their events. You understand? I think it's going to be very difficult for me to discuss with you if maybe you have to MC one of my events because I just hold you in high regard. And I feel like now, even the price tag should actually go up because you have actually paid the price in this industry. And I want people to notice and note that they are not, because sometimes we get caught in not seeing someone transitioning and transforming. And it stays for a long time, where we put the person at a certain bracket. I feel like right now, man, I saw even snippets of what you did at Durban July. I was like, look at this boy. This boy understands that, fine, but the type of people that are here, you could read the room. You are having professionals, business people and everything. Your conduct was not the one that you did to go Univen. You know, and all I'm saying, it takes a person who has matured and a person with intelligence to do what you do. You understand what I'm talking about?
Chino, look, Chino, everything you're saying is correct, you know? And I feel like with any other artist, those moments of involvement are always going to happen. They always occur. It's a pity that whenever...
No, some it's hopeless. They will never. Some...
Fair enough. Let me speak for the ones that I know about. And this thing of being given another chance, it's overrated now, man. Let me tell you something that I always tell people, that this is my attitude. No? My life and my destiny is not in anybody's hands. Right? My life and my destiny is on God's hands. And if anyone thinks that they can close a door and they can lock, if God is destined that I reach greater heights, it will happen. But obviously, it comes with discipline. Like, and the more you grow, the more you mature, you know there's certain things you can't do anymore. There's certain mistakes you can't do anymore. There's certain ways you can't respond anymore. Right? There's certain ways, there's certain egos you can't have anymore. Right?
And entertainment, it's egos, eh?
It is, all the time.
It's just an ego business.
All the time. But at the same time, people are pushed to those lengths where they respond in the way that they do. You know that just a mere response in a meeting, staff meeting, can get you off air. Just the mere... It gets you off. And unfortunately, people will not see that because they're not in there. And then when
also just a certain act, Tinje, can make them discuss this one. We are not renewing his contract.
Just standing your ground.
We are not renewing.
Just ask him, but say, how do you guys quantify that?
We are not renewing Gab's contract.
Then that's it. Then you know how it goes out in the open.
Ill discipline.
Why? Because that's the stigma that everyone has. Even now. That's what I'm saying. Please, on your platform, let's not use that narrative. That every radio boy, is ill-disciplined. You know, everybody makes mistakes.
No. The thing is, I've seen a lot of assholes who are programs managers and station managers. I've seen them. I've heard about them.
Where are they now?
Across.
Where are they?
Some are still in the field.
But then you ask yourself...
Some are still there, toxic as fuck.
Fine, but then now, you see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that they can't submerge talent, right? If you're talented and you're disciplined and you're trying to be the best person you can be in the industry, you're going to break at some point.
They've killed a lot of talent.
They have, right? I could have been one person whose career was also killed, but I persevered. Because of my upbringing, right? Perseverance. Push, Gab, keep going. If somebody closes the door for you, if they keep closing these doors, come back and buy the whole building. That's the attitude I've always had.
Let's talk about this.
Yes, sir.
You have done many gigs.
Yeah.
You have worked with a lot of promoters.
Yeah.
And things don't always go the way we decide.
Yeah.
Or the way we actually agree. that this is how things should go, especially with regard to payments.
Yeah.
How do you move and make peace and move past?
Cappuccino, I think the one mistake that I have made and that a lot of musicians are making is not having management. Yeah? If I had management from 2010 to date, I would not be in this country. I would not play my trade in this country. I wouldn't be. I would have moved into other spaces, I should think. But because of lack of management, you negotiate your own payments and your own rates
With friends.
because of hunger.
Yeah, and negotiating with us.
Negotiating with savages, son of Nkazana. Negotiating with
Son of
a
Nkazana.
brutal man who doesn't profit. I mean, it's always the bottom line for promoters, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It's just business, right? There's nothing wrong with negotiating. No, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying you're a promoter. You've worked with artists. You've always looked for the cheapest and the most feasible price, right? And the
Not
sad
really.
part, I'm just saying, the sad part is we would come with talent, right? But we're hungry. We want the platform more than anything else. Some people, if people go to understand why I started doing commercial music or commercial entertainment, was because of family crises that were happening at home. Things happened at home. The church background thing was not bringing any more income because of betrayal, right? And everything that I've known, everything that I grew up well, man. But then everything I am, then it meant I need to come up with a plan. What can I use to bring income for me and also for my home state? And I found, okay, I can DJ with improvise with a DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, 0.5. But then I was doing it because I needed that incentive to help home. I need to keep the lights on at home.
You know what impressed me most about you, Gab?
Yeah.
You'll go back there.
Yeah.
It's I came to your house.
Yeah.
You got a stand
Yeah.
and you built a house, Gab. And you built a very nice house. And I was like, look at this boy, how he thinks.
Yeah.
And if many who have an opportunity to collect those thousands, 1.5, 10 and everything, do what you do. Like I was so impressed.
Yeah, I mean,
To see that.
in actual fact, I mean, this is also another story as well that has also, and I had a lot of hurt for me personally in terms of relationships. I continued the house off towards the end. Then there was some sort of lease, whatever. But at the end of the day, I got myself a roof over my head, right? And it's something that I'll always thank God for.
And you could have rented at a prime space around Polokwane or wherever.
I could have.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thank God for that. Actually lost the relationship during that process, funny enough. But yeah, story for another day. But back to my point. I mean, you gave me this advice about property. I took advice.
When?
Long time ago.
I'm going to lie to people now.
But no, Ndwana, you do something with your money. Because remember what we used to do?
Lying.
Buy sneakers and whatnot. But again,
Lying about a son of Gezane.
Cappuccino, some of the advice that we got from promoters like you, as much as you're brutal and you've shut down careers, you've also given us good advisors, you know? So I think it depends on the people that took advice or what did they take out of it. It's like when you buy, my dad once talked about this. He said, when you buy fish,
He said, I'm savage.
you don't eat the bones because
Brutal.
you don't eat the bones.
I killed people's careers. Gab, what are you here for?
Cappuccino, when you buy fish, you don't eat the bones because you also paid for the fish. You choose what you take from the product and what you consume, right? People need to understand the reason why people go into this industry sometimes is not because of them wanting to do this from day one. There's been a lot of articles where I was asked, what did I want to become when I grew up? And I was always wanted to be a soldier. Go through a lot of articles that were there, Limpopo articles back then. I never saw myself as an MC musician, right? That happened because of trials, my brother. There was starvation. I need to come up with a plan.
Starvation.
Even when I
You're
negotiate,
exaggerating now.
Even when I
Starvation.
Yeah, like,
I'm just imagining. God, there's no water. You are there. There's flies on your. You can't say starvation.
Let me rephrase. It was hunger.
Starvation.
Okay, right? Let you know.
Yeah.
So back to your question about promoters. Hey man, I've done so many shows, man, where people be paid thousands and thousands of rands, and you're paid 1,000. Ne? MCs. And you stay there from start to finish. You arrive there early on time. And then you MC until 7 o'clock in the morning when the show is over. Then that headliner comes for 30 minutes.
Until the last person leaves.
Yeah, and then after they leave, you say, "Oh, man, hope I take." Man, I'll see you after ticket pays. You must wait a week. When you call them after a week, so those were the experiences that have shaped the people that we are now. And I'm glad that I was speaking about management.
Yeah.
That for the lack of management, then
You have
it's
management now?
Yeah, I've got management now. That's why coming here, you had to write me a formal invitation.
Yeah. By the way, Gab made me write a formal
It was
invitation.
not me, it's protocol. That's how we grow.
And I was happy to write it because
And I appreciate it because you hardly write those kind of letters. I mean, the only time you write those kind of letters is when it's critical. But I'm glad that you did. I mean,
yeah. There's a few I wrote too.
recently as well.
MEC.
I saw recently as well online, and that's real, man. That's inspiring, bro.
Yeah.
But again, you see, it's a fight for everybody,
My daughter is learning how to use a computer, and she actually drafted the letter very well.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, Gino. So, brother, about promoters, it's hard, guys. Now, I've been in this space for a long time where the first promoter, man, to pay me out of his own pocket was Sakavi. That's why I say I'll always be grateful for that man. I'm half from New High because I was not built by the university. He said, "Ntwana, you did a great job. I'm fast." From his own pocket.
Yeah.
That thing inspired me where I can actually make something out of being on stage. And look where I am today with all of the trials and tribulations, with all of the learning. But I thank everybody who has put us through that system because it has shaped us to be the people we are today, That's why today, for example, Shine Bright Entertainment, we've got an academy. Undisputed Productions, I've got an NPC myself.
I'll come to the Shanbai thing.
Yeah, I was just saying that the reason why I have an NPC is because I want to make it easy for other kids not to go through the route that I went through.
I'm coming.
Yeah. Management.
Because we know you as the MC, and there's something that I admire about you.
Yes,
to
sir.
switch, you can do a highly corporate event, and you can do that event at a stadium where everyone is just
Yeah.
you can do that. Like, how do you switch? And the other thing is like, what does it take to be an effective MC? Like, are there rules? Are there attributes that a good MC needs? Because I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
And then I've also exploited you nicely in both avenues.
You what?
I'm done.
Please say it again.
Here we speak and pass.
Yeah, I want to say you exploited me? Nicely.
Lovely.
Promoters, again. Back to,
But I think I'm on your on your top 5 best promoters. You know that, man.
top exploited.
No. Beautiful people you've worked with.
No, of course, definitely. Look, man, Chino, to answer your question, brother, MCing is a God-given talent. I don't want to lie. Because it's something to speak behind the camera, because there's a take 5 edits. On your own stage, there's no take 5, there's no edit. You go in, my man, you're dealing with different people, different cultures. And if you are aware of that, back to the rules. There are rules, I think.
Besides, you know what I've seen?
Yeah.
I've seen where there's another MC trying to interact with the crowd, ne? And I see a promoter say, "Gab, please take the mic."
Yeah.
And you just go there, do your thing, and everybody lighten up.
There are rules. I've got rules myself. Number 1, I'm always aware of the kind of environment I'm in. As you said, corporate or commercial, right? I look at where I am. I look at the people that are there. If it's a corporate event, I check what kind of corporate event it is. The jokes I'm going to crack, they're going to be aligned with that particular event or, the prestige of the event. Commercially, I look at where I am. If it's a freshers ball, it's a university, where is the university? Because I've done a lot of universities across the country. If it's Limpopo, you're dealing with different cultures, right? So try and accommodate all of them at the same time as your intro. The first 5 minutes of your show will determine how your show is going to become. That's my principle. So, for example, if I'm in Limpopo, because of the different cultures we have, right? I just get up there, hello, ladies and gentlemen, right? Now you know you got your vendors here, right? Minjano. Now you got your tongues.
What do you boy?
Now you got them here, right? So just by gestures of saying hi to them in their languages makes them comfortable with you. So you have them right here. When you have them here, then you can operate, right? So I've learned that it's an experience that I always use most of the time I engage with this kind of audiences. So how I switch between commercial and corporate, again, it's just the gift of the gab, you know what I mean? I don't want to lie to you and say I prepare. I hardly prepare for my MCing gigs. I don't prepare for my MCing gigs. I prepare content, but I don't have expectations on how things might turn out. Arriving on stage and standing there, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, then the rest is just autopilot, brother. So I think it's a God-given talent that I always appreciate. And other than that, I can't tell you any methods or solutions on how to become I can't write a book on how to become the best MC. I'd speak about my experiences, and I don't think they necessarily work for everybody, you know what I mean? That work for me, that work for somebody who takes them. But it's also about personality as well. It's about the kind of energy you have, how you look at things. I read a lot, you know, how you engage, and just research on these two worlds of corporate and commercial.
Let's get on this segment then.
Yes, sir.
What you do now.
Yeah.
In your relationship, Shine Bright Entertainment.
Yeah.
What's happening there? What are you doing there?
Shine Bright Entertainment is an organization that is a record label, in essence, that has got different wings. You know, they've got an academy, they've got studios.
How many artists do you have?
We have a couple of artists on our radar, and we'll be signing a few artists.
How many have you signed?
Thus far, we haven't signed. We are on course on signing, so we haven't signed anyone yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I've signed, but remember, obviously, as an internal part of the system, I am not including. I'm not counting that, you know, because that was just going to be. It was just something that had to happen, and that's when I talked about management, right? I don't manage my own events anymore, and I'm seeing a lot of progress, because you can't negotiate with me. I'm not part of the bookings. You call the office, they tell you if you want Gab, this is how much he charges. If you can't build that up, then... Because the reason why you called me is because there were a lot of other people you could have called before that, right? So it means you wanted me because you know the value I'd bring to an event. But when you negotiate with me, Cappuccino, you always say, Gab, I'm going to sell on Fanagamara, and you take that because you need it at the time, you know? But right now, because there's a little base now, and you know also now you want to grow as well. When they call the office doesn't negotiate. So that brings a lot of growth. And something that I'm saying to, it's a call I'm saying to a lot of musicians out there. Try to get management, you know. It doesn't have to be a record label, but find somebody else to negotiate on your behalf. Be it a family member, be it someone that's in the industry, be it your uncle. Find somebody else that can negotiate and bargain for you, because they will not come there as hungry as you are. They won't bargain for the stomach. They'll bargain for growth, and they'll bargain for you being able to save money, man, you know? So that's another part about Shine Bright that has really, really helped me, and I appreciate that for them.
So you're a recording label as Shine Bright?
And I said there's other elements that we have. We've got a music academy, we've got an artistry academy, we've got
studio hire,
we've got state-of-the-art studios, we've got sound equipment, we've got working tools, we've got stage and sound, we've got an academy, we've got a lot of things that are happening. We've got a beauty lounge that's also open for public use. We've got a green room studio that's also available. We've got a photo shoot studio that's also available. So there's a lot of things that people can get. So pass down 24 Grobler Street in Polokwane and come and check out our studios. There's a lot you can get out of there.
Cut that part.
24 Grobler, yeah, you heard it right.
Thank you for cutting it.
So yes, that's what we do there, man.
What are the recent projects like in Shine Bright? Like, what are you looking forward to be doing, or maybe your 2024 goals? Like, when it's December 31st.
Yeah.
What is it that you love to see have happened in Shine Bright?
I'm gonna. Well, I don't want to.
No, but I'm just saying, based on your involvement, I know that there's so many things that Shine Bright is doing right now, but there's some stuff that you're handling.
Yeah.
I want us to deal with what you are handling right now.
Hence, I'm saying, obviously, there's some that are obviously still in progress. I would not want to just, risk factor that. But things that are right now actually being rolled out. We've got what we call Shine Bright Unearthing Young Talent, right? Future stars. right? So we're going out into all the 5 districts of the province, unearthing talent. We believe that we've got so much talent in our province, and because it's not unearthed, it's not sought after, we keep rotating around the same group of people and saying that they represent Limpopo music, which is not true, because there's a lot of other young people out there that can affect our province positively and also give that talent that we embrace as a province, and we'd like for the world to see that. So we're going to be working on that project, number one. Secondly, we're doing a lot of projects with our sound and stage hire, right? We're doing a lot of projects. Recently, we catered for around about.
I've seen your massive stage there.
Yeah, it's huge.
At an event called TEF, I think.
Yeah,
The University of Limpopo.
Yeah, there was work we did there, and we're doing work everywhere else. We're doing work with private, we're doing work with the public sector, and simply because we're just trying to bring the best, that we have. So those are some of the projects I'm involved with. There's also events that we are also launching up. That we're doing recently now. We're doing a partnership with Spring Festi. It's going to be an incredible experience, because remember, we've got working tools, So we want to partner ourselves wherever there's a need for us to provide working tools. So we will be partnering with also a lot of other entities as well. So mark the 31st of December, we're going to be signing up new artists. There's new talents that we've identified. There's the Shine Bright Gospel Choir that's coming up as well. We should be having auditions, I think, next week, for a matter of fact, where we'll be opening it up just to give people a chance to be part of this music and entertainment industry. Not everybody wants to be part of the commercial side. Hence, we're opening up a gospel part of it to allow people that only fully want to participate in religious music to have a chance also to showcase their talent as well. And from those people in the choir, we might identify 1 or 2 or 3 where we could start looking at signing and producing their own products. I'm also busy with my own EP as well. I'm dropping it month end. I'm working with people like Dr. Khasago, commonly known as Stylish DJ. I'm working with a lot of local guys, Lyric Shocks, and a lot of local talent is going to be part of my EP that I'm dropping at the end of the month. Besides that, working with a lot of charity organizations, Alpha and Alpha Res project, where we're going into schools, teaching these kids career expos. We're involved with a lot of things, man. And just to touch on some of them, that's what we're busy with. But other than that, we're also busy with, we're doing a lot. Every single day we wake up, we've got something that we have. Our calendars are full. I'm also still MCing, but I'm doing more corporate and lifestyle now. I've moved out away from the club scene. It's been a while, probably about 2 years now. I've moved away from the club scene. You will not see me in, unless I go there because it's a special invite. But it's no longer my source of.
You were at Univer not long ago.
That's not a club scene. That's outdoor. That's stadium status, my brother.
Club scene. Which club did you go to? Is there a club around here?
Not club, but I'm talking about commercial areas. I mean, the last thing I did, I was resident at Konka. I was a resident MC at Konka.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about that kind of, spaces.
That kind of environment.
Yeah, that kind of environment. So I only do stadium status, I do lifestyle events, corporate park. I'm also trying to rebrand. Remember I told you where my safe space is, right? And I'm trying my best to spend most of my time in that kind of space.
Who is the biggest influence in your life, except for Sakavi, your father, me? Who has that biggest influence?
You killed me, bro. My father knew. Cappuccino. All right, look, man. Chino, a lot of people have a lot of influence on me, man. Some I don't want to mention on a public platform because they're doing it because they are not aware that they're doing it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that influence, and some people younger than me. So I get my influence from different people. I get influence from people within my religious environment. I get my influence from political environments, and yeah, I just.
What's your story, Lemapungube? I mean, last year you were very active.
Yeah.
On the forefront, the marathon.
Yeah.
Everything like you're there. What's going on?
No, we are just part of the service provider that's.
As Shine Bright?
No, not as Shine Bright. Shine Bright is not servicing Mapungube, so yeah. So
it looks like you don't want to talk much about it.
No. I mean, there's nothing much to talk about. I'm just, as you said, as you introduced me, you said I'm a consultant. So I'm just consulting. Yeah.
Still working with them this year?
Yeah, definitely working with them. Yeah. Working with them, and hopefully we're planning on making Mapungube this year bigger and better than anything else. Bring back the glory days of Mapungube. We're trying to bring back corporate inside Mapungube. And we're trying to bring back, the glory days of Mapungube.
I think in both your organizations, like Shine Bright and Mapungwe, I see that there can be some sort of partnership with what I do.
Yeah?
And I wish we can actually have that platform. Also with, you mentioned issue of searching talent.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the core objectives of Limpopo Music Awards is that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I think there can be a collaboration either way.
Cappuccino, wherever people have got the right intentions, right? And they have the right motives, and they've got the experience of the industry, there can always be a collab. For as long as people can move out their egos, people can move out ulterior motives, there can always be a collaboration. I feel like the collaboration can happen everywhere. Shine Bright, Energy FM, the Limas, Mapungube, anything that is Limpopo orientated in making
I think that's how we can build a solid industry, especially in Limpopo, because that's where my heart is at. Our egos, our divisions, are actually derailing this thing and delaying progress.
Yeah.
We've seen what we can do.
Yeah.
The couple of years. I mean, we've actually entered the space, played in national and international space as Limpopo artists.
Yeah.
And I think we can still do more if we do away with unnecessary competition and other than all that. I feel like this is the right time to really look, because it looks like we have something unique that we are selling as a province.
True.
You see.
I think Cappuccino with the Limpopo Music Awards, Sepedi Awards, Shitsonga Awards, Chivender Awards, right? People need to come back together in the same space, right? And have one thing. I think people, you see, my thing with these things is that everybody always wants to have their own thing going. And it's not a wrong thing, because the idea might be incredible. It might be a brilliant idea. But if it's going to be a partnership of people and a partnership of the province, all minds need to come together and make one common thing happen. Look at Durban. I mean, I was recently with you in Durban recently, and we saw the impact that the entertainment industry has within eThekwini, because people are united there. Why can't we have the same thing in the province? And in the province, people are divided here. Man. We all know. We all are aware of that. And it's people like me, it's people like you, I should think, that are trying to bring people together. It won't be easy, right? But everybody knows in their space right now that I'm not in any group that's fighting against any group, or that's not agreeing with any group. We know who they are. We are, because we are in the industry. We are in the middle of it. But why can't we then, Cappuccino, bring everybody together? Be it different radio stations, be it commercial, community, be it musicians, DJs, be it organizers, be it the Limas, or be it whatever. Like, can't we all come together and then go to the department as one unit and say, here we are as entertainment in our province. We need your partnership. The problem is people are going there as individuals. It is not going to work. So my call right now is to everybody that's in the entertainment industry in our province. Can we get together? Whether you're running a soccer team, whether you're running an organization, an NPC, a record label, entertainment studio, sound hire, can we come together and let's draft a charter?
You're sounding so GNU, eh?
Let's draft a charter we can send to the department or to government and say, here we are united. All we need for you to do is to endorse this thing. Then everyone will have a slice in the bread, Cappuccino. And that's something that I pray that happens. That's something that Shine Bright is trying to do. That's something that Gab Mapiano is trying to do. That's something Just Talk with Cappuccino is trying to do. Is that something everybody's trying to do? I doubt.
Tell me something. I've also seen you doing gigs with political parties.
Yeah.
Recently, I think I saw you MC at the EFF event.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen even some comments when pictures are posted.
Yeah.
That of mine included, because I also had a gig there.
Yeah.
And all that. And then people not understanding that you are going there in your professional capacity.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel when you see this condensating remarks and all that?
It's painful, brother, because it puts you in compromising situations where people disassociate with you because of your association. Right? And if people could, as you say, if people could see you for your professionalism, they would not, we would not be in the situation that we are in. Right? I'm Gab Mapiano. I'm an MC. I'm a national MC. And I MC for everybody that requires my services.
And you're good at it, at what
and I'm
you
good
do.
at what I do, man, So if somebody's going to want to, bad talk me because now I'm invited by anybody else, I always ask, when they go and shop at other stores, someone once gave me an example. The very same people, Baran Uskaya Gua, where do they shop at particular stores?
That's me.
Was that you? Code Cappuccino. Are they buy from stores that are owned by people that are not?
Markets owned by Freedom Front.
Yeah,
owners.
by other people, man, So for me, it taught me to fight for what I believe, and fight for what's right. It's my democratic right, my brother, to exercise my talent in any platform within this country or outside this country.
And
So,
I'll also tell
Yeah.
you my experience, especially with the recent one, with EFF booking. I would get a call, send a quotation. Not even a single time my quotation was actually negotiated. There's never a point I'm told, don't you want to reduce to this?
why is that?
Yeah?
Why is that?
I think that it goes where you feel like they value you
Thank you.
with what you are doing.
Thank you.
And then someone will say, yeah, you are not part of us anymore. Yeah, you are helping the enemy. And you look at, for instance, I'll give you an example. I can predict if there's an ANC event who's coming. I can tell you now. Makadzi, Master KG, Monada. These are big artists anyway. CK and Janisto. They'll always be there. It's like there's someone,
Like me, I was always there.
like you were always there, ne?
Yeah, but I was good at what I did.
Yeah. So my point is that I think we need to move and mature from this politics. Like, for instance, I was discussing also with Dr. Mabuta.
Yeah.
You know that is one of the guys who have huge sound and
Yeah.
everything. And as a service provider, by being asked to come and render a service to a different political party, eventually now he becomes the enemy. Tshwantshe re mo tswalle and all that and all that. And then you find that now you can no longer work. And people need to mature from such stereotype
Yeah.
and such stupidity.
Yeah.
And when you also meet these leaders, Banwa whiskey, wherever they drink it, and they tell you, "Ana cappuccino, arsa tlo dila ka wena, ro bone hore ha o sa le wa rena." And they forget, for the past 4 years, they've been calling the same lineup. And some of us, Ibile, we were card-carrying members. Some of us would give an ideological perspective. We don't come there, then servants to the rope and go home. We would also engage on issues because we understand politics and economy. And then you get to be treated differently. Then I got to learn and say, you know what? I'm going to go where I'm needed. And I'm going to give it my best when I'm there.
I hear you.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Brother, it's as I said, look, you see me, I don't like politicizing things. My career is not about politics. My career is about delivering and rendering a service, right? And my service is to entertain people and is to handle crowds. Be it of whatever party, wherever it is, my job is to do that. And I also appreciate the fact that I'm being called. I mean, being called to come and work shows a sign of respect to my work, right? If you're calling me, rallies are not events where you find 6,000 people. It's thousands of people that are there. So if an organization can see fit that you must come and handle their rally, it's because you've got the capabilities, you've got the skill, you've got the experience to handle 95,000 people in a stadium.
I saw what you did in Durban, man.
Yeah, no one did. It's
Mazulu, don't even know you.
No, bro, but you got to make sure that you get the job done. And for me, I think it's what people and other associations and organizations must see. Oh, man, this is one of our own. You know, the province has produced has produced such talent. Man, those are just politics, Cappuccino. But I think the very same politicians are aware. And I'm telling you, like, people know Cappuccino, man. And again, I think again it goes back to what you asked me. How you deal with this goes a long way into how you're still seen in the system. Right? There was a point where I would text, brother. Text organize whatever
Leaders.
Yeah, I'm going to go and work. Out of respect and also trying to make sure that there's peace.
Yeah, when I believe you are nice, eh?
Not even about that, because I understood that there's going to be a lot of. There's already talk before, again. But they know that this guy is probably one of the best MCs we have in the province. Then why are we denying him from going to work? It's bread for me, man. So I think also, again, it's a call to politicians as well. That let's allow talent to flourish in our province, man. In whatever space is Cappuccino. If talent is there and there's potential, they should be the ones that are actually pushing you, you know, into those spaces for you to grow. But I feel like with this year, the new contingency we've got a new MEC of Sports Arts and Culture, that's going to change this year. I feel like there's going to be so much positive changes in our system this year, Cappuccino. Just wait and see. There's a lot of positive energy right now. The Department of Sports Arts and Culture, I speak about that because it's about the arts, right? There's so much positivity.
What do you think will change?
A lot will change. Unity is something that's on the agenda, you know?
Was the MEC that was there last year not unifying?
No. The MEC was unifying. I'm talking about strategies.
So she didn't have strategies?
I'm not talking about the previous MEC. I'm talking about what's going to be happening this year.
But what will change? I mean, my point is that a new MEC came.
No, listen, change is not that there was no work done. I'm talking about just an increase in the momentum of what was happening from last year. The MEC last year did an amazing job, incredible job. And if you are within our spaces on the ground, you'll realize there was a lot of positive work that was done. And all this means is that...
Oh, so you are saying there's a continuation?
There is a continuation. And why I'm saying this because now we can see it. You can't talk about something you don't know about. You can't talk about something when you go whole. I'm talking about these things because I've been blessed and here I am on the ground trying to make my province look great.
Do we have the right HOD in that department?
You see, I'm not one to determine what positions are right or
yeah, you don't have that capacity, but do we have...
Right? I don't have the capacity. People have got their own reserved opinions. All I can tell you right now is that, my brother, where we are, we're in the right direction. It's not about it's not about positions, I mean. I'm not about positions. I'm talking about the whole overall influence. Remember, this thing starts from the head. It starts from the top.
Head of department.
Not the head of the department. I'm talking about the top of the chain.
Yeah, that's the head of
department. Do you have a problem with the head of department at sports?
No. Who's the head of department?
I don't know. Then why you keep repeating the same thing?
No, I want you to answer me directly.
I can't answer
I don't want you to speak.
I can't answer you on individuals. I'll answer you on...
But you've been answering me on individuals since we started. Why changing now?
Give me an example. Which individuals did you speak about?
It's a lot. We spoke about many people.
About you?
We spoke about Sakavi.
Yeah, but Sakavi is the one that put me on. I can talk about it.
You want us to talk about Pilot?
Pilot is a promoter.
Is he also a savage like me?
I don't know.
You said I'm a savage?
You are. Well, you were. You know? You said it in a nice way, Chino. You're not a savage.
I understand that.
You're trying to cut down costs like any other promoter would do. Any business person that runs in entertainment wants to cut down costs.
Cap, you know this utterance of yours once made us fight.
We're not fighting, but I'm just saying, I'm a business person as well. I'm trying to look for the lowest cost at the most highest quality.
I don't operate like that.
Well, that's you. I'm talking about business. Yeah. The bottom line.
I want us to go to closing remarks, but before then, I want you to, if there's anything you want to say or anything you want to even maybe ask me. Anything, like before we go to you doing the closing remarks.
Cappuccino, we've got so much talent in our province, my brother. So much talent. And for us that have been able to go to the outskirts of our province and realize the potential that's there, we need resources, to nurture those talents and then place them into the market. Not everybody's going to turn out to be a lawyer, a doctor, or these commercial streams. Some kids were born to entertain. What are we doing about those kids? What are we doing about that talent? My call is to the public entities, to corporate business. Can we please find a way to unearth this talent? We've got plans, not just us, Shine Bright, not just me, not just Cappuccino, not just organizations. There's a lot of people that have a hunger and a yearning to unearth talent. But can we first start getting together? We need to fix that. Let's fix that first. That's what I want to say. Can all of us that are having the same mindset of unearthing talent and seeing the betterment of talent in our province, can we first get together?
I see.
Then when we get together, then we can all make one call to the people that matters, to the people that sign the checks. There's no way they will not support us. The reason why we're not being supported now is because we're all coming there with different ulterior motives. And I remind you of fear. So my call is, let's first get together first. The ones that have the passion and the yearning. Then we go with one voice to the people that matter. That's number one. Number two, I'd like to call out on all musicians of the province that, guys, there's enough bread for everybody. Let's leave jealousy, stay in your lanes, but also invest in your brand. You're not going to become the greatest thing that comes out of Limpopo if you're not investing in your brand. All you do, you see music as a quick change business, you know, and then you want to fight with people that have taken their time and they're full time in the industry. It's not going to work. Commitment is not going to be the same. If you want to get to the top, my man, you must commit to this thing fully. That's number two. The last thing I want to say is that let's not say things about people that don't exist, man. You know, we're killing people. Let's not preach a message that's not there. Let's not instigate stories about individuals in the industry that are not there, just because they're in the limelight. Everybody would want to talk about Gab Mapiano because he's popular. Not talking about me would look like when I outside.
Yeah.
Not talking about a cappuccino, but make you feel, especially amongst people. Not speaking about it when you used to. Also, we're in the entertainment industry. Our job is to entertain, but don't spread rumors and lies about those people.
There's one thing I want to commend you for.
Yeah.
Gab, before I forget.
Yeah.
You're one of the guys who are key and leading in this industry, but you're clean. Your social conduct.
Yeah.
Like I can't pinpoint anything that I say about here, Gab, and all that. And I think you need to keep it up. And that maybe comes from the fact that you, I don't know whether it's your background or your religious beliefs. Man, you clean, man. I haven't seen any conduct. Even outside the province, I haven't seen you in an environment or situation that warrants one to say, this is a typical action of, man. And what inspires that thing?
It's, you know, I always want to keep, you know, the thing, my family is respected for the work they do in religion, in the religious sector. I don't want to put their name in disrepute. Number one. And I'm conscious of the fact that I don't want to have a situation one day because of things that I did in the past.
Yes.
Because that blocks you from a lot of things that can actually possibly happen for you. We make mistakes, right? We are young, we grow. There's certain things that we're going to do. There's habits that you fight that you want to get rid of, that you don't want to be seen doing, like any other person. But I always say that God is not done with you yet.
And you are very private about your romantic relationships.
Yeah, look, man, I am. I'm not married as yet. Something that I want so bad, it will happen, right? But I think also because of the industry that I'm in.
Are you into a woman?
Am I?
Are you into women?
Am I into a woman?
Are you into women? Like, are you straight?
What are you saying?
I'm asking, are you
Am I
straight?
into women? No, I'm straight. I'm straight.
Okay, just checking.
No, I'm straight, my brother. And I've had a lot. I've had good relationships, and they've taught me a lot.
No, we shouldn't be afraid to speak about sexuality, you know.
No, we must talk. No,
It's like the way you're so squeaky clean.
No. There's things, Chino, I'm a human being, right? People make mistakes.
Like, you know, it's either you hiding people knowing your private life, or you're hiding something that the society hasn't accepted.
When I date, I date. If I go to events, I go with my partner.
You date females.
Of course I did. What must I date? Monkeys. Come on, man. So, as I was saying, man.
I'm provoking you so that you can provoke to ask whatever you want to ask.
Not even,
Because
not even.
I think you are the one who can
Not at all.
brave,
Chino,
like...
No, Chino, here's the thing. Guys, let's be honest, né? My bra.
These people are not part of this. Leave them.
They're part of it. They're here. As a human being, Cappuccino, you are afforded an opportunity in your life to become better than you were yesterday. The only way you can become better than yesterday is if you make those mistakes and learn from them. Question is, how many people are learning from their mistakes? We all make mistakes. Some others make mistakes that if they were to hit tabloids, would be shocked that how can this person that we respect so much, how could this person have made such a mistake? Yet we grow from those mistakes. And one thing I'm proud about is that we can only get better. I can only become a better person. I can only become better than my previous relationship, not try and make the same faults I made previously. It's accountability as well. Sometimes things don't work well because you made the mistake.
Yeah.
Sometimes you lose certain people in your life because you messed up. You need to account for that and learn that. And take that up with your notes. Okay, my next relationship I'm going to have, I'm not going to mess it up. We're talking about relationships, right? And
Yeah.
because of the industry we are in, it's not easy to find a person that... Remember, everybody's got their own standards and values in people. Right? I, for one, first of all, I'll always look at the spiritual subscription. If you don't align spiritually, I don't care how you look or whatever. It's not going to work. So again, it's just a matter of understanding the person you're with, the person you want to be with, and just being the best person you can be.
Sure.
I'll invite you to my wedding soon. Hey, but you must. Hey, when there's a lot you still need to do, though. There's still a lot you need to fix, but it's fine. I've forgiven you.
What have I done to you, Gab?
You were just a businessman. Bottom line. You didn't do nothing much. You made me the man that I am. You've taught me business ideals. You've taught me to negotiate. You've taught me a lot. And I think there's a lot of people who will watch this platform, they'll say that Cappuccino did. You don't learn negotiating on your own. You learn kalebadi, chief, levadi, you feel a fave, to feel a five. Then you learn, and then and it's a good thing, You've made a lot of men boys. Just talk with Cappuccino from boys to men.
Hey, yeah.
The son of Gezani.
I'm going to wrap it up.
Let's wrap
Can
it
I
up,
wrap
sir.
it up?
Definitely.
I think it was a very lovely interview,
God has
Gab.
been good. God is great, man.
Very lovely interview.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you even off cameras.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening to Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino by Son of Gezani.
Just Talk with DJ Cappuccino.